Welcome to our Quotes Corner, a place where inspiration and wisdom collide. We believe that quotes have the ability to spark a positive change within us and guide us on our journey through life.
The only purpose for which power can be rightfully exercised over any member of a civilized community against his will is to prevent harm to others. Over himself, over his own body and mind, the individual is sovereign. The liberty of the individual must be thus far limited. He must not make himself a nuisance to other people. A person may cause evil to others not only by his actions, but by his inaction, and in either case, he is justly accountable to them for the injury. The only freedom which deserves the name is that of pursuing our own good in our own way, so long as we do not attempt to deprive others of theirs. He who knows only his own side of the case knows little of that. Truth gains more even by the errors of one who, with due study and preparation, thinks for himself, than by the true opinions of those who only hold them because they do not suffer themselves to think. The worth of a state, in the long run, is the worth of the individuals composing it. Bad men need nothing more to compass their ends than that good men should look on and do nothing. The despotism of custom is everywhere the standing hindrance to human advancement. I have learned to seek my happiness by limiting my desires, rather than in attempting to satisfy them. The only way in which a human being can make some approach to knowing the whole of a subject is by hearing what can be said about it by persons of every variety of opinion. The individual is not accountable to society for his actions insofar as these concern the interests of no person but himself. The peculiar evil of silencing the expression of an opinion is that it is robbing the human race. War is an ugly thing, but not the ugliest of things. The decayed and degraded state of moral and patriotic feeling, which thinks that nothing is worth war, is much worse. It is better to be a human being dissatisfied than a pig satisfied. Better to be Socrates dissatisfied than a fool satisfied. The person who has nothing for which he is willing to fight, nothing which is more important than his own personal safety, is a miserable creature and has no chance of being free unless made and kept so by the exertions of better men than himself. The only freedom which deserves the name is that of pursuing our own good in our own way. The duty of man is the same in respect to his own nature as in respect to the nature of all other things, namely, not to follow but to amend it. The most cogent reason for restricting the interference of government is the great evil of adding unnecessarily to its power. The only part of the conduct of anyone for which he is amenable to society, is that which concerns others. The general tendency of things throughout the world is to render mediocrity the ascendant power among mankind. The principle which regulates the existing social relations between the two sexes, the legal subordination of one sex to the other, is wrong in itself, and now one of the chief hindrances to human improvement. The only power deserving the name is that of masses, and of governments, while they make themselves the organ of the tendencies and instincts of masses. The object of education is not to fill the mind of the student with facts, it is to teach him to use his own mind. The only freedom which deserves the name is that of pursuing our own good in our own way, so long as we do not attempt to deprive others of theirs. The greatest offense against reason is to believe that things are true because we want them to be true. The only way in which a human being can make some approach to knowing the whole of a subject is by hearing what can be said about it by persons of every variety of opinion. The worth of a state, in the long run, is the worth of the individuals composing it. The only purpose for which power can be rightfully exercised over any member of a civilized community against his will is to prevent harm to others.
If you enjoyed this video and want to continue exploring the world of quotes, be sure to subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell.